Good evening, good afternoon, good night, and good morning. Thank you for tuning in to RETV News Break. I'm Ty.
And I'm Nicole. Every week, Ty and I come to you here with the RETV News Break.
It's the start of Black History Month, and while we celebrate Black history and Black excellence 365 days a year, we definitely want to highlight some positive Black events and news for you going on around the world this week.
In our first story, the wait is finally over. Greenwood is open for business. It's a modern banking for the culture. Greenwood is headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia, and was founded by three extraordinary men. Ambassador Andrew Young, known for his activism, the former mayor of Atlanta and U.S. Congressman, supports sustainable economic development, expands educational opportunities, and alleviates hunger and poverty throughout the world. He's the co-founder and board member of Greenwood. Mike Render, also known as Killer Mike, most know him as an activist, rapper, businessman, actor, and songwriter who started the Bank Black movement that encourages African American families, businesses, and allies to utilize Black-owned banks. He is the co-founder of Greenwood. And last but not least, Ryan Glover is the founder and chairman of Greenwood. Mr. Glover has more than 20 years of experience delivering products focused on the African American community. In 2011, he started Bounce TV, the first African American nationwide broadcast network. It's no secret, the current financial system has failed at keeping wealth in the Black and Latino communities. Our communities suffer from a lack of wealth, money circulation in the Black community, and generational transfer. That is why we created a Black-owned financial institution, a mobile banking platform inspired by the early 1900s Greenwood district, where recirculation of Black wealth occurred all day, every day, and where Black businesses thrive. Today's Greenwood is a Black-owned banking system developed by us, for us. This is our time. Join us now. Greenwood offers you spending account with no minimum deposit, balance requirements, or overdraft fees. Savings account with competitive compound interest rates, and both physical digital MasterCard debit cards, no surcharge fees at over 100,000 ATMs. Receive your direct deposit funds up to 2 days earlier than traditional banks. And you can also round up your spare change to benefit minority causes. For more information and to open an account, visit bankgreenwood.com.
Cool beans.
It's finally here.
It's finally here. It's taking quite some time, which is fine because I think there's a lot of, obviously opening a banking institution or a banking platform is not something you can easily just do overnight.
Exactly.
So I know there were a lot of us out there who would be like, hey, whatever happened to Greenwood Bank or Bank Greenwood and, so on and so forth, or the bank that Killer Mike, and so people in Atlanta were supposed to be opening. I know I'll speak for myself because I, for one, was one of those impatient people, but obviously it takes a while for people to create this platform. And this is something that we in the African American community definitely need, because the larger banks and the banks that are out there for sure are definitely hitting us over the head with these fees, and we're not getting a lot of return on our money, and we're trying our best to be able to keep our money in our community, or at least circulate in our community first before going outwards.
Right. Hence why it's very important to support Black-owned businesses. And I get it, those that actually, provide the great customer service that we're accustomed to, as well as, quality for the product. But that is definitely one way to help circulate the Black dollar.
Of course. So, of course, we encourage you to go to bankgreenwood.com. Again, be patient, as this is a brand new startup banking institution. But they are, as she mentioned, they have some great products that they're offering. I will say one of the products that I'm looking forward to the most, and I don't think they've actually launched it yet, is a business account. For those, you mentioned banking Black or keeping it in the Black community, but for those small businesses, specifically those of the African American variety, to have a place where they can actually keep their money for their businesses as well. So hopefully within the near future, I don't know for sure, but hopefully in the near future, that's something that they will offer as a product for their customers.
But at least as for now, I've opened up my account, received my bank card, and have used it several times over the last few weeks. So it definitely works, and I'm, benefiting from the perks as well.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. I've opened up my account. Unfortunately, I have not used it yet, but I will definitely be using it sometime soon, for sure.
Good deal.
Cool beans. In our next story, Roland Martin is teaming up with McDonald's USA to help out historically black colleges and universities. According to an official press release, the partnership will distribute over $100,000 in scholarships to shining juniors and seniors attending HBCUs. The contribution will celebrate Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated and their 115 years of scholarship and black excellence. The aim is to ensure the financial challenges impacting many HBCU students will be addressed by providing financial relief. I quote, "HBCUs and their students are vital to the fabric of our nation, and I will always champion for their success," said the media mogul and member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Roland Martin. "I've witnessed firsthand the financial struggle that impacts black college students, especially those in their final semesters. So I am pleased to partner with McDonald's and TMCF to celebrate my beloved fraternity Alpha Phi Alpha and provide a resource that will help black students graduate. To create a more helpful future for HBCU students, 7 juniors and seniors will receive $15,000 scholarships for the 2022-2023 academic year through a joint effort through the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. The financial backing will support the fraternity and McDonald's shared belief that students should receive relief to spearhead educational pursuits and find community." Quote, "We know the outstanding work being done at HBCUs, which is why our team is devoted to use our scale and resources to expand educational opportunities for black students," said Reginald J. Miller, Vice President and Global Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer at McDonald's. Our hope is that this scholarship efforts helps build and support the pipeline of diverse talent that will go on to be change makers in our society for decades to come. We will post more information and eligibility requirements on re-tv.net and the Relationship Entertainment Television YouTube channel.
Awesome.
That is awesome. I will say firsthand, as a person who struggled through college because of financial capabilities, this is something that is definitely needed for our college students and, specifically our African American college students going to HBCUs. So I salute you, Sir Roland Martin, who is actually an advocate of Relationship Entertainment Television, as well as the McDonald's Corporation USA, for doing what you're doing in this.
Yes, I'm just glad to see over the last few years, more and more resources are being made available to our students and highlighted in the media, as positive news. So I'm hoping there are tons of students out there who will definitely take advantage of the opportunities out there.
Yeah, definitely. But especially, again, this is specifically for juniors and seniors. All of the information or the requirements in order for you to qualify for this, again, for the 2022-2023 school year, will be on re-tv.net as well as the Relationship Entertainment Television YouTube channel. I encourage each of you, whether you're a parent or whether you're a student, to go out there and check it out to see where you qualify. Because again, there's nothing wrong with some free money to get some free education at the end of the day.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Anything to lower that debt.
Exactly.
Or avoid it at all if you can. Next up, Leah and Louise owners expand their footprint with 4 new Charlotte restaurants this summer. Charlotte-based Bay Haven Restaurant Group, led by chefs Greg Collier and Sabrina Collier of Leah and Louise, just announced that they will partner with Camp North End to bring 4 new restaurants to the area north of Uptown. The spaces will range from a modern fish camp to a sultry speakeasy. Owner Sabrina Collier stated, "Over the past several years, we've built amazing relationships with the Camp North End team and exceptional black culinarians, the Charlotte community. We felt that supporting these new concepts was a combination at the right time, place, and people, and the next step in our mission to enhance economic development and community development through the hospitality industry. Here are the 4 new spots to expect this summer. BAD. Former Leah and Louise pastry chef Jasmine Macon regularly hosts donut pop-ups, but now she will have a permanent location with the opening of BAD, better known as Beyond Amazing Donuts, later this year. Megan wrote on Instagram, "I am happy, I am blessed, and I am eager to take this next step. I've wanted this badly for so long, and now I'm able to do it my way, to tell my story with bold and eccentric characters. Patrons can expect decadent buttermilk donuts, cinnamon rolls, chocolate bourbon pecan pie donuts, and more." Bird is the word. Counter service cafe Bird is the word is born out of the popularity of the Leah and Louise fried chicken sandwich of the same name. The menu from Greg Chef Collier will also feature a chicken family meal, chicken fat donuts, and other chicken heavy dishes. Passage Seafood. Pulling inspiration from coastal Carolina seafood spots, Passage Seafood will be the Collier's interpretation of a more modern fish camp. Expect a full menu of oysters, whole fish plates, and much more. Seasonal seafood pulled from the Atlantic Ocean. The Abyss. Self-proclaimed liquid alchemist Justin Hazelton will lead the bar at the upcoming speakeasy, The Abyss. Hazelton has won awards for his cocktails while behind the bar at Leah and Louise. He's the mind behind the drinks such as the Ruby, the Earl Grey and hibiscus-infused gin, lemon oleo, honey, and rosemary bitters, or the Tomboy featuring rum, pineapple cilantro cordial, tiki bitters clarified with coconut milk. The Abyss is described as darker and more sultry than its upcoming neighbor, Passage Seafood. The bar will serve plates from Passage as well as a diner menu for late night customers. Look for all of these to open this summer and keep an eye out for updates on each restaurant as they roll in.
I'm hungry. What's to say? I don't know about y'all, but it's about 12 o'clock. And after you read all of that in the menu items for... let's go rewind back for a second. You talk about BAD, or BAD. Beyond Amazing Donuts. When you mentioned Beyond Amazing Donuts, some of the donuts you mentioned were, because the way you described them, the way they were described, patrons can expect decadent buttermilk donuts. I've never had a buttermilk donuts. Now I'm a donut aficionado because I love Krispy Kreme. I'm not that big of a fan of Dunkin' Donuts, so on and so forth. But that's personal opinions. You are, like you said, cinnamon rolls. I love cinnamon rolls. Now, I'm not a big fan of nuts, but you also said a chocolate bourbon pecan pie donut.
I bet you that's the bomb.
Oh my gosh.
Especially with a nice cup of coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, I encourage anybody who is in the Charlotte area, or if you're visiting the Charlotte area, when these spots open up this coming summer in 2022, check them out. I know I am definitely looking forward to them because, let's go back even further because I got a question of what is, and this is only at Bird is the word. Maybe you may know, maybe you don't know, but what is a chicken fat donut?
I don't know. Maybe it's cooked in chicken fat. You know how most donuts are fried?
Yeah.
So it's probably cooked in chicken fat? I don't know.
I like chicken.
I can't fathom the actual taste of a chicken donut.
A chicken donut.
But for it to be cooked in chicken grease, maybe, to give it a hint of flavor. It's definitely intrigued my interest to try it.
I would try it for sure. I definitely would try it. But hearing it though, I'm going, chicken fat donut? Like that doesn't seem like a combination that you usually would get going somewhere. And there are other donut places that have, different types of donuts and so forth where you can combine flavors and, you could just sweeten your savory and all. And that's probably where it's coming from, the sweet and the savory, as you mentioned in a few of the other places. But I definitely want to check them out in addition, Bird is the word, in addition to BAD, as well as Passage Seafood. I do love me some seafood.
And I would suggest that if any of you haven't yet tried Leah and Louise, that's the name of their first restaurant, or at least here in Charlotte, definitely try it. It's New Orleans cuisine with a very nice spin on dishes that are just wholesome and just all right good.
Yeah. We've had an opportunity to go, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. when we went. I'm the type of person where so long as I can find something chicken on the menu, then I'm good because of my specific diet or with things that I do and I do not eat. And I was definitely able to find some things there on that menu that, again, I was very pleased with. So I'm definitely looking forward to these 4 new restaurants or brands under their restaurant chain. Especially the fact that they're, and what really stood out for me was the fact that they are, it seems to be they're promoting from within. Yes. So you mentioned like their hostess is, is kind of, who had a pop-up donut spot. And now it's going from a pop-up donut spot to an actually restaurant of their own. And they seem like they have supported her through whatever journey she has gone through in order to get this spot, in order, a more full-time spot rather than a pop-up donut spot. Yeah. And even their chefs and their bartender and all the drinks that you mentioned, and so forth. Yeah, I'm very intrigued and definitely looking forward to trying a few of these places out.
Excellent way to support and promote from within.
And especially for us people who like to eat. I think everybody likes to eat, but who really enjoys eating and so forth. So. Yeah. In our final story, this one is a more serious story, but the death of former Miss USA Chesley Christ on Sunday sent shockwaves through the world. As we mourn her loss, Essence.com remembers the legacy of their digital cover star and shares 5 ways the late beauty queen will inspire Black girls in the years to come. Chesley shattered stereotypes. She spent much of her short life challenging the status quo. As she stated in an Allure interview, I quote, "Pageant girls are supposed to be model, tall, and slender, don bouffant hair, and have killer walk. But my 5'6" frame, one with 6-pack abs, earned after a year of competing in Division I track and field, and a head of natural curls in the time when generations of Black women have been taught that being too Black would cost them. Women who compete in pageants are supposed to have a middle-of-the-road opinion, if any, so as if not to offend. I talk candidly about my views on the legalization of marijuana, the Trump administration's immigration policies, anti-abortion laws, the confirmation of Justice Amy Coney Barrett, and the successes and failures of the criminal justice reform. I openly support the resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement and marched in protest over the summer." Chesley was well educated, having graduated cum laude from the Honors College at University of South Carolina. She earned 2 additional graduate degrees from Wake Forest, a Juris Doctor, and a Master of Business Administration. Chesley was outspoken about her views on leadership and life. At a former legal competition, one of the judges told Chesley that the judge preferred skirts on women and suggested that she forego her pants for a skirt. In recalling this moment, Chris said, "Glass ceilings can be broken wearing either a skirt or pants. Don't tell females to wear different clothes while you give men substantive feedback on their legal arguments." As a role model, Chesley meant so much to so many people, including the current Miss USA, Elle Smith, who has stated that Chesley was one of her biggest inspirations. Seeing someone confident in herself, confident in her abilities, and just seeing a Black woman who knows her strengths and weaknesses, it's a powerful thing. Many have paid tribute via social media, including Lonnie Love, Tamron Hall, Danielle Brooks, and Kenya Moore, who said she was a true role model I looked up to her. As an advocate and philanthropist, Chesley was heavily involved in the community, serving on the Big Brothers and Big Sisters Board of Directors, a Dress for Success volunteer, and a Millennial Advisory Board member at the Harvey B. Gantt Center for African American Arts and Culture, and a member of the SQ Professional Awards Committee for the Mecklenburg County Bar. Last but not certainly least, Chesley was the epitome of Black girl magic. I quote, the awesome ability that Black women have to hold our heads up high in a world that wants us to hang them low, end quote. But as Jesse Williams said, just because we're magic doesn't mean we're not real. And this is especially true of Chesley's death at the age 30. Now, to get help Call the National Suicide Prevention Helpline at 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. There's also a crisis assistance text line. For crisis assistance in Spanish, call 1-888-628-9454. That's 1-888-628-9454 for any crisis assistance, and even in Spanish.
You had the opportunity to meet her not too long ago, right?
I did. I had the opportunity. I volunteered with the company that I work for, and Cam Newton, the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, actually had a kickball tournament. Okay. And I was able to volunteer at that kickball tournament and had the opportunity to meet her and take some pictures. She was actually on my team. Now, when she showed up in true Miss USA, fashion. She had her hair all did up. She had her sash on. She had the jersey on, but she had like knee-high boots. And I was like, what you gonna do with knee-high boots on playing kickball, lady? But I will say
she's setting a new trend and saying you can play kickball in knee-high heel boots.
She tried. She honestly, she did try. And so it was really dope to actually meet her, because she really was a very down-to-earth, a very sweet young lady. I didn't realize that she was as young as she was. I didn't realize she was 30. It is so tragic the way that her life came to an end. A lot of us don't realize what celebrities go through, and being Miss USA, I guess puts you in this celebrity spotlight. But as we just mentioned, there's so many things that she actually did, so many things that she actually was, and so many people that actually looked up to her as a role model, and all the things that she's done in this life. I commend her and her works. I know her legacy will continue on forever and ever and ever. I know she was a lawyer here in the Charlotte area, originally from South Carolina, but again, lived here in the Charlotte area, grew up pretty much, I guess you could say, in North Carolina in general, as she went to school in South Carolina, but also got some degrees in the Wake Forest area, Winston-Salem, Wake Forest area as well. Very sad of her passing, but definitely proud of all the things that she accomplished in her short years of 30, and all the things that will live on past her life. So we definitely, want to, again, encourage. I always say, check on your friends, because you never know what they may be going through. Especially the ones that you consider your strong friends. You never know. Those are the ones especially you definitely want to check on, because those are the ones that usually don't say how they feel, or don't say what's going on with them. So, every now and then, just check, whether it's a text message, a call, seeing them on the street, or whatever it is. Check on them. Ask them truly, how are you doing? What's going on in your life? And some people may not want to share, and that's okay. But at least they know that they have someone who actually cares about them, loves them, and, cares enough to say, hey, how are you? How am I doing? And has that outlet for, that's there.
Very true.
Yeah.
Our heartfelt prayers definitely go out to her family during this time, and to anyone who may be struggling with, just not being able to navigate as they would have thought. Not all hope is lost. So be encouraged, and we pray that you do seek out the help that you need.
Yeah. So again, we honor the legacy, and we honor the life of Miss Chesley Christ. Again, our prayers and our thoughts go out to her and her family as they go through this time. But we know with all things, everything will be okay in the end with God's help. So again, don't forget, we will post the information for the crisis assistance. If you definitely need it, we will post it on re-tv.net, as well as on the Relationship Entertainment Television YouTube channel. But we thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of RETV News Break.
Be sure to subscribe to the RETV YouTube channel and Facebook pages for more great news and shows.
We look forward to seeing you again next week right here on RETV. Until then, be blessed and be great.
Hey, it's your girl, Tia Robertson. I'm the host of Entrepreneur Insider. 6 p.m. Eastern for entrepreneurs and news that you need to know about. See you there.
Welcome to What's Going On? My name is Demita Joe. Each Wednesday, you can find me here at 3 p.m. I'll be over here discussing different things that are going on and try to bring you a boost of positivity for your week because we all need this. We're going to share some feel-good stories. We might find a hometown hero. We may take a look at some trending topic. And sometimes we might even find a lesson in a not-so-warm and fuzzy story if we can. I'm Demita Joe, and I'll see you guys on the next episode right here on What's Going On?
Growing up in the church, we saw a lot. Things that people refuse to talk about. The elephants in the room. Mental illness, sexual abuse, broken families, domestic violence, and so much more. The Big E, The Elephant in the Room, is a show that sheds light on these topics. We're here to speak about the unspeakable.